Well, Cassette and Boomer, they grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky, and it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff they went through. From Atari to Trek, they know every line. Geeky has made it feeling just fine. Late Savvy's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky, they're the nerdiest crew. Talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn. Singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky as they're living the dream. Talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. With Telly and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. But Telly loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passion and both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky is where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get told. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, Toys in the Box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rocks. And Telly and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky is with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky as they're living the dream. Talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. But Telly and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezer Show, where Telly and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. But Telly and Boomer, forever they'll be Geeky geezers living wild and free.
Look at this. I'm liking the song. Thank you, Jessica Hardo. See?
Yeah. I think this one feels a little bit. It's the same. It's the same lyrics. I wanted more of a Chicago blues feel more than a. I don't know. I felt it came off a little bit rap-ish. So
I still like the rap, but it's still available on your channel.
I
right?
still have it. Yeah. Well, I haven't released it yet, but I probably will. Yeah.
And now we're fans of the Super Friends instead of Thundercats. By the way, what was interesting? Did you know that Reen, Reen Auber-Jones, I think on the Super Friends played the voice of Desaad for Darkseid, and then he played the voice of Desaad for Darkseid on the Justice League cartoon from the 2000s. And I'm like, wasn't that interesting how he played it in both shows? Darkseid.
You know, speaking of voice acting, I was just watching something on, and I revisit these things from time to time. I was watching a video about Speed Racer. Come to find out that the girl that did the voice for Trixie in all three, was it 3 seasons? I want to say 3. The point is there were 3 different actresses, voice actors in Japan who did the voice of Trixie.
That happens.
And there was just the one all the way through in the American version. So there was like a slightly different characterization in Japan each time they would change the character, or change the actress. And we had more, more integrity, at least for the character of Trixie here in the States. Now, there's other things that go into localization. So there was editing that happened and so on and so forth. But
how many episodes was Speed Racer?
I don't know.
Less than 20? Why did they... Wait a minute.
Alexa, how many episodes of Speed Racer were there?
From libretto.com. 17 episodes were produced, with each episode featuring 2 different races, for a total of 34 races in all.
I didn't ask how many races, but that's fine.
No, but I find that interesting that there was 2 races per episode. So it was only 17 episodes.
It's just like Midsummer Murders, the British show, where you're guaranteed at least 2 murders per episode because the show is called Midsummer Murders, plural.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, you got to be true to your
True to your advertising.
title, yeah.
She misunderstood me. There are actually 52 episodes
Oh, okay.
from 1967 to 1968.
Oh, so it was only
Wait.
2 years.
Okay. Originally aired in Japan from 1967 to 1968. Also aired in the United States around the same time. Other series within the franchise, such as Speed Racer Next Generation, also contain 52 episodes.
No.
And
I
the
didn't
19
even know that existed.
I've
And the
never
1997
even seen it.
Speed Racer X series had 34 episodes.
I'll have to look into this. I
I don't
had no
know
idea
about
those
these
existed.
other Speed Racer shows. I
But
can
if they
never
came
find
out
them.
of Japan, I'd be willing to give
I don't
them.
know. Well, they did one, but I never got to watch it because they are. Oh, it's coming, and I was like, okay, come to American TV.
Ah,
They did.
I see.
Have a great show tonight, geezers. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope so too, Big Al.
Yeah.
Because it don't look like the X-Files is having a great week ahead. Because apparently Walmart and Target are now removing the console from the store shelves. They've had it. It's
Wow.
not selling. And,
Yeah.
and they keep talking about their grand ideas. You guys are full of crap.
Yeah,
You
well,
don't know what
we'll-
you're doing.
We'll definitely get to that.
Next week. I'm sorry. I just
There-
found out
there's
about
going to be.
that.
Look, let's not sugarcoat it. We're going to get a little ranty tonight because it's like some companies just haven't learned. We're going to get into. We're going to get into Tron Ares.
Yeah,
and
our old friends
honestly,
Disney.
Finally, I waited all weekend, not for Tron Ares, but for Nerd Cookie's review of Ares.
She did not like it.
Well, she knew what to expect, and basically that was what she said. She's
I
like,
could
knew what
already
to
tell
expect.
that part was supposed to be for Sam Flynn. It's
Exactly.
obvious.
That's what she said. Oh, did you see the video too?
I watched it, but even before I
did-
saw the video, I'm like, I bet that was supposed to be Sam Flynn's
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Don't
And-
tell me you couldn't get the actor back. That's a bunch of nonsense. You could
They
have gotten
didn't
him
even
back.
ask. They
Yeah,
did
you didn't
not
ask.
even ask. They because let's face it, they knew when they filmed when they filmed Legacy, they knew they were setting themselves up for a sequel, so they were planning on it. So don't give me that stuff. Yes, it did sound a little.
You're welcome to make a
yes,
cameo.
and
Go ahead,
I was
sorry.
kind of happy about that. No, and that was the other thing. She was kind of she wasn't expecting it, but she was hoping there'd be some little Easter egg or something. No, nothing like that. We'll get into all of that later, but just all that to say, I commented on her video. In fact, she actually liked my video, my comment, and gave me the little attaboy. But I said, I've been looking forward to this. I was waiting for this, all weekend. You don't disappoint. Let's be honest. Girl Boss is a non-starter, and it almost guarantees that a movie's going to be a flop. Some SJW comes in response, that's a lie. Okay, give me an example of an exception to that. I'll wait.
It depends. I mean, I liked Alita. I don't know that I would call her a girl boss, though. But yeah.
No, that's not really a female heroic character is not a girl boss. Girl boss is someone that comes in
and can do no wrong and is perfect.
Can
at
do
everything.
no wrong
Yes.
and takes all the credit from a male predecessor.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
Snaps.
Just takes his name. I mean, it's the exact opposite of feminism, right?
It's ridiculous.
Feminist wants to be treated equal and wants the same opportunities. These modern neo-Marxist feminists are like, no, I want men to be eliminated because I hate them all, and I want to take credit for everything they ever did.
I part of me feels that part of this is because, I mean, not that I get off on a tangent because I will get the Tron Ares soon enough, but they did not advertise Tron Ares like it was going to be like that. When we saw those trailers, they kept all that crap out of the trailers because they know it's a non-starter.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're trying to do a bait and switch and think the audience will have to accept it after they pay prime money for the ticket.
Anyway.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Agent Boomer. It's my co-host, Papa Pacelli.
I'm your instigator, Troy Pacelli.
And with us is Netter of Netters Network, who I like to call the Geezette, as long as that's not offensive. But yes.
No, I'm the Geezette, like Smurfette.
Yes, there you go.
I'm the Geezette.
I may be
Really
mentioning
geeky,
Smurfs
so-
during our good old days
Oh, there you
briefly.
go.
You'll see what I mean.
I'm a geezette.
Yes, snap to it, people. It's time for the Geeky Geezers. Welcome, Depensac. Welcome, everybody. Yes, this is the big Tron Ares weekend. I was waiting patiently. The only thing that's going to gut me more than Tron Ares is that Blade Runner TV show. That'll put the finishing touches on my misery. That'll just be
Almost certainly,
that'll
yeah.
finish me off. I'll just be in a lock myself in a room somewhere and never come out again when that comes. I'm sorry. I remember we were doing the Blade Runner 2049 rewatch and deleted scenes. Steven, you mentioned to us. Oh yeah, it looks like or was it Big Al? It was one of the two. Oh yeah, there's a Blade Runner 2099 series coming out from Amazon, and I just shrieked. I was like, no. Because of course Warner Brothers doesn't care about their properties; they just sell them to whoever it wants because they have no money. Anyway, what do I know? Let's be positive tonight, huh? Let's be positive about the entertainment industry. Welcome, Geek Flag, with Nate Knows. Are you doing the yeehaw because of the music from the beginning? I'm just curious.
There you
I don't
go.
know. Have we done a country yet? Actually, I don't know. That might be the. I don't know. I feel Sophia has a kind of a country feel to her, even if she doesn't sing country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Lynn Green, welcome. Am I missing anybody?
It really does get very. The line is very blurry between, old '50s rock and roll, rhythm and blues, straight out blues, and country music. It really does kind of blend together.
Welcome, Connie Cleary. 52, you got to get to 60 to have that syndication. That's what saved Star Trek.
True.
Saved Star Trek it had just enough episodes to get that syndicated run, and that's where a lot of people became Trekkies or Trekkers, I should say. Right? They were
right because a lot of us
episodes.
hadn't even been born when the show started.
And if it's on every day.
I actually saw animated series before I saw the original series.
How do you feel about the animated series? Do you consider it the final 2 years of the 5-year mission?
Not the final 2 years, because I think I looked into it one time, and I think it kind of took place in between the episodes of the original series. I always thought of it being like two different shifts on the bridge, because you got Eric's taking the place of Chekhov, and you have Mires taking the place of Uhura, who was also a character on the show too. So it was just like building up the rotation on the bridge crew.
Okay, well that makes sense. Star Trek. All right, did I miss anybody? I'm probably missing a lot of people. I did Lynn Green. I did DJ Play Nice.
Hey DJ,
stopping by to show support and leave a like. Have fun. Thank you so much, DJ Play Nice. Welcome.
When the female lead has flaws that don't turn out to be advantages, it isn't a girl boss.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Right. Heck? When your only flaw is that you're holding yourself back. If you just let yourself go because you're so perfect, you'll do fine. Jeez. Right?
When did this start? I wonder. I should try to. I wonder if anyone's researched this. I will say this. I'm a big fan of those Studio Ghibli movies. A lot of female protagonists in those.
Yeah.
But
right.
they don't offend me. So I don't get it. Anyway, welcome to Geeky
Well,
Geezers.
it's really hard to root for someone when you know that they have enough plot armor that nothing can possibly happen to them. There's no anticipation. There's no what's going to happen now? No, you know what? I'm going to go get popcorn. She'll be fine. She's going to kick their asses, and everyone's going to say she's the bestest ever. I don't, whatever.
Missed opportunities with Michael Burnham. Starting with her name. Anyway, moving on to. Do you want to go ahead and because I mean the original concept having a flawed Starfleet officer that caused a disaster, that actually wasn't a bad idea for a protagonist.
Right.
And they kind of screwed it up. Yes. Anyway, moving on to, but we like to talk about the good old days, and I have to tell you, I don't know if there are any young people listening, but you don't have no idea what you've lost. You really don't. Samuel Procter, that's probably you, right? There were proto girl bosses in the early 2010s and late 2000s.
I'll tell you right where it started. It started with and you know, guys, if you think about it, you know where the girl boss comes from. It's the whole Mary Sue concept. It comes from fan fiction. You know, these teenage girls writing their fan fiction where they are the greatest thing and every guy is in love with her and she can do and it's just bad writing. Unfortunately, now those kinds of people are in charge of making movies. And so you're literally getting the kind of writing that you get in fan fiction.
How young are we talking about here? In your 20s or younger, that's what I'll say.
Yeah.
By the way, what you're saying about fan fiction, though, I had a coworker, and she was interesting because she was actually being objective. She actually told me once that fan fiction is mainly a female activity, which this is what she read, which I thought was interesting because apparently men prefer to adhere to canon. And I don't know if this is true or not.
Actually, it's very interesting because I've heard that too, and it has to do with how do you put it, like a sense of honor or whatever. Yeah, you know, I can imagine, you know, all I want, but that doesn't make it true. I live in the real world, you know, this is the way it is. These are the rules, you follow them. You know, it's that kind of a thought process where you know, the whole and you kind of see it in the way that men play, with the boys play and girls play, right? Girls play make-believe, and you're going to be the husband, I'm going to be the wife, and, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and whatever. And the guys are like, you know, this is the way combat works. No, that's not how those kinds of guns work. You know, let's be realistic here, you know?
Yes, when Marsha Brady becomes Mrs. Davy Jones, we end up with Mikey Spock. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Was that stuff circulating around in the 70s?
Well, no, he's blending together a couple things there. Because
Mary
there was
Sue,
the episode.
Despite the origin is not gendered, any character can be written that way. Yes,
right, could be a Gary Stu. Right.
I can think of one Gundam series in particular that featured one of those types of characters.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention by name, Gundam Seed. Anyway, moving on to, though, let's get into the good old days. Let's get into the good old days of what you used to get in a grocery store. You would come into the store, and I'm sure Troy is familiar with this, the Puffa Puffa Rice.
I actually don't know Puffa Puffa Rice.
Look at what you get inside the cereal box. You get a yo-yo. They would give you a yo-yo. This is what you got just for buying a box of cereal.
Right.
Netter, does this look familiar to you? I don't know. Or is this, am I going
vaguely? I don't think.
I don't know. I think that's problematic.
You know
I think that's anti-Polynesian.
If you look at the cereal itself, it looks a lot like
Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you got a free yo-yo and Puffa Puffa Rice. So we're talking about back in the good old days. You used to get stuff in cereal boxes. You used to get toys and stickers and other things. You know what you get in cereal boxes now?
Cereal.
Yeah, you get cereal. Okay. I was gonna reference
sticker.
If you're lucky, you get stickers.
I was gonna reference Army of Darkness, where he says, "You know what you get? You get Jack shit, and Jack left town." That's what he said to the guy. You're in charge. All right.
Always being nice.
There used to be some really great prizes in cereal.
Yep.
I know, though, parents complain going, "Oh yeah, but that prize is taking up half the cereal box." So you're paying for the toy, not the cereal.
Yeah, I never really felt like it displaced any cereal, to be honest.
Parents,
to me, cereal growing up was kind of like Cracker Jacks. You got the whole box of cereal with a prize inside.
Yeah.
But you did have to be careful what cereal you picked out because you had to eat that stuff.
You still had to eat that stuff.
Mom was not going to buy you another box of cereal until that one was gone.
Right.
So I would look to see what the prizes were. And that's like, okay, of these ones, which cereal am I going to actually eat? And then pick that one.
Right.
Did you learn the trick? Because, of course, what is it? The object is always on the bottom of the bag because it sinks to the bottom. Take the bag out, turn it upside down, and open it from the other end.
Yeah. Here, that was another thing. I don't know if you ever realized this. You used to have to put, You'd either have to pour it out or reach your hand.
No,
in
I would.
through
I
the
was a
cereal or
reacher.
whatever.
I was a reacher.
Okay, but
Just
you had to go
reach in,
through the
like
cereal.
disgusting hands all over the cereal. Yes.
Yes,
Right,
you'd
to
have
get
to go
that.
through the cereal.
And you'd be
There
fumbling
was-
around for the little plastic bag, right?
Yes. Well, no, they didn't. They didn't always have a plastic bag.
Yeah.
At the beginning, they didn't have plastic bags. They
Really?
started putting them in plastic. Yes, yes.
Yep.
And then
Interesting.
a little later on, they started doing something that made even more sense. I mean, it might not have been great if you were in a family that had a bunch of kids that were fighting over the toy, but instead of putting it into the cereal, they'd put it on the outside of the bag, between the bag and the box, so that it was easier to get a hold of without having to dig through the cereal.
Yep, I remember those.
Yep.
Like we were having to wait until we uncovered the toy by eating the cereal. That was you were in a Puritan household there. I have to tell you, if that's no, you can't go digging around. You'll get the toy when you get the toy. What if my sister gets it first? Well, that's too darn bad. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, come on. I remember the Flintstones.
Well, no,
Hot
my
Wheels-
mother knew better than to say that, because then I'd eat the whole damn box. She's like, no, we'll work this out.
Troy, I remember Flintstones Hot Wheel Fruity Pebbles. There would be mail-in prizes too. The
Oh,
fancier
that was a mail
stuff,
away. Yeah.
you'd have to mail. Now, this is not necessarily about mail-aways. That might be a topic for another week. All right, but
Yeah.
Crazy Cow cereal. This look familiar to you? Either of you? Turns your
No.
milk strawberry
Yeah,
flavor.
I do remember this. Yeah, strawberry. Right.
You get a rocket with it. What the
That
heck?
was I didn't have one of those, but I saw those. They were pretty cool. It was like a I guess basically it was a syringe, right? And it blew a puff of air and
Really?
it would pop that top right off, and then you'd lose it, so you'd have to go buy another bowl of cereal.
I thought it was an actual like NASA space rocket they just brought to your house. 'Cause
Oh,
back
yeah,
then, we
yeah,
were
yeah, that's
ruining
exactly
dough.
what it
They
was.
would just
Yeah.
you just get one of those for a box of cereal. Welcome,
No,
Sorry
what you
Man
could hope
Jack.
for
We're talking
is-
about breakfast cereal prizes.
Thank you, Sorry Man Jack. Welcome. No. The best you could hope for is you would get like the plans for how to build a rocket ship. That you might get.
Was
which-
that something?
never good.
Was that something in a movie? Was that Better Off Dead, where the kid got some plans by mailing him proofs of purchase on how to build something, like how to
It
build a
does
rocket
sound
or something?
familiar. And it was ridiculous, like because he actually builds it, and by the end of the thing, he is able to.
He's able to explode off into space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The C-3PO series adds Star Wars characters face masks you cut on the back of the box. I have to admit,
Yeah.
I always thought cutouts.
I got those.
Cutouts.
but I
Cutouts
got
were
those. I like
default.
them.
Yep. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
cutouts were default. We should be getting those
I
anyway.
agree.
Not as the
I
prize.
agree.
Come on. Let's move on.
Better
I-
Off
I got
Dead
some
built a
weird-
space shuttle. That's what it was. Thanks, Big Al.
Look, dude, Mr. Spock
Yep,
on a
yep,
cereal box. What we
What did
have
you get?
lost.
Did you get a phaser? Did you get a communicator? No, you got a space mission badge.
I don't care. They put Mr. Spock on the box.
Well, true.
What? I know this is probably one of those toys where they just slap Star Trek onto the label, right? They would just, but
Right.
I don't care, man. It's. I mean, do you remember this? Was this around when you were a kid? Did you go into the store and Mr. Spock is on a box? That never happened.
I actually don't remember. Well,
This-
I
this
actually
was
don't
in the
even remember
60s,
the
I don't
sugar.
know.
I don't even remember the Sugar Smacks with that particular logo. to
No,
be
I remember
honest
the
with you.
bear. Didn't the bear end up taking over as the mascot for those? I think, as I recall. I don't even know if Sugar Smacks are still around. Those might have gone the way. I remember
let me
getting
find
a
out.
submarine for the Disney movie Atlantis in their cereal box. That's a good toy. That's a good one. I did like Atlantis. It was probably one of those ones where you could fill it up with bubbles and it would do things, right? Or you filled up with water, would do something.
Okay. Sugar Smacks changed their name
Yes. Oh, I got to
to
go back.
Honey Snacks or Honey Smacks.
That's what confused me. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember Honey Smacks. Probably because Sugar Smacks, let's be honest with you, your mom's in the store saying, "No, I ain't buying you something with sugar in the title." They're not happening. But honey's all natural. That's from bees, right?
Yeah, and of course it doesn't actually contain any honey, so it's just a name. It doesn't actually contain.
Yeah. And I had sent Troy a picture of the Freaky cereal because you didn't remember that one.
I
I
don't
did.
think it's in here. Yes. Okay.
No, I'll bring it up. Give me a second. Let me go back
Bring
to
that up.
here.
Go ahead. Let's do this.
This one was the one that Netter had.
What?
She still has those.
Well, I never had the two in the front, the orange one and the kind of weird
yellow
goldish one.
Yeah.
But the ones in the back, I had all those, and I still do.
Yeah.
This is very like psychedelic, like late 60s, early 70s. That's what this is reminding me of.
I'll tell you what,
wrong.
I didn't know
Freaky
cereal, but those magnets on the bottom, I remember that one at the top that looks like a reddish orange clam or a frog or whatever. I did see that one in the wild, so I know they existed.
Those are cool little toys, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that ticked me off, though. Is first you're getting those plastic ones on top, which I loved.
Yeah.
And then, like, in the middle of them giving you all these toys, they suddenly switch to the magnets. It's like, I don't want magnets, I want the toy.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. This was the early version of loot crates, right? Because when you got that cereal box, you had no idea which one you were getting, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those Freakies figures. Well, you'd need to buy 7 boxes. And you were not guaranteed to get a different one in each one. So you'd probably be buying at least 14 of these effers.
Yeah, I would. You know what? That's where you would have to. I have to tell. And this never worked either. The idea was you would get a double of something you had, but maybe a kid on the playground.
Maybe you trade
also
it with
had
a
a
friend
double.
or whatever.
Let's just trade it. That never worked out.
Oh
bring it tomorrow. Yeah, you'll bring it tomorrow. You'll bring it 5 years from now.
I have the pink one with the big nose on the far left. The green one next to it. The green one on the far end.
I'm not sharing it anymore. She's got one.
And the blue one in the front.
Two each of 3 of them. She's got 2 each of 3 of them and 1 of another. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 7 distinct figures.
I thought I had the purple one too, but I don't. But I know I didn't have.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know I didn't have the 2 in the front.
And she still has them to this day. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah, so these things are, let's see, I think I started getting these when I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And 16 now, so yeah, these are pretty old toys. How many of you can say you still have your cereal toys from when you were a kid?
A complete set of them is going on eBay for $124.
There you go.
Let's move on to Sir Greatfellow. What on earth is this? Grape flavored cereal? Let's not and say we did. Whose idea was this?
I have no idea what that is, but that glider, that looks pretty cool.
I loved gliders as a kid. We would always go on vacation. You stop at the souvenir shop. There'd always be like a little thing of gliders. I'd have to buy one. I put it together, and of course they'd break eventually because they're made out of balsa wood. But they were good fun while you had them. But yeah,
and I liked artificial grape as a kid, so I probably would have liked this cereal.
I just can't think of that mixed with milk. I don't know why that's throwing me off. It's like in the Sonic 2 movie where they're going to go out for ice cream and he says, "Oh, it's a treat. Does it taste like grapes?" And Sonic says, "No." Like, that was a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Idris Elba as a echidna, and he was acting his heart out too. Troy, not long after they had Darth Vader on the cereal box, and then before that, Dragon Ball Z characters here. Okay, I guess I'm not sure.
Cool.
Okay. Not on Sir Greatfellow, though. What is this? I remember Greatfellow reminded me of Catch the Pigeon.
Oh my gosh, yes! What was that? Wacky Racers or something like that?
He does! You're right!
Yeah.
He does have a Hanna-Barbera look to him, yes.
He absolutely does. I'll bet there was some rights-related issues there. Connie says, look at a Christmas story with the decoder ring. Yes, the Little Orphan Annie decoder ring. Drink more Ovaltine.
It bugs me. They came out with an actual Wacky Races racing game for the Sega Dreamcast, but it was never seen since.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good, like a Mario Kart style game, but with Wacky Races, that'd be really cool. But all right, moving on to, let's move on. But I like the glider, that's why I picked that one. I have no idea what half these things are.
King Vitamin? I have You know this one?
Yes, I used to eat this all the time. I love the way it tasted.
Okay. Yeah, it looks to me like that's that vaguely peanut buttery flavor that you got, and that cereal flavor would return over and over again with the Donkey Kong cereal, with the C-3PO cereal. You see it all the time.
I never got
Batman cereal.
Yes,
I
I
never
like.
had that toy though. The only toys I can recall that I still have from my childhood, from cereal, are the Freakies.
Are those Freakies?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny how we forget about the toys. That's why I had to go look and like bring this up, because I hate to say this. I can only think of a couple from the cereal boxes, though I remember always going for the cereal boxes with the toys in them. The King's Ring. Look at that, huh? You get to be a king if you have that ring, right?
Well, I'll tell you, if you grew up in Middle America in the 70s, you felt like a king anyway, because life was good. It really was.
You could get yourself a king's ring, get transported to Narnia, and say, "Hey, I'm a king, also." Right? I'm just
There
saying.
you go. There you go.
I don't know what corny snaps are. What's free inside? Hold on. What was that? Darn, I have to make it big. I had this
2 bike stickers and an iron-on transfer.
Stickers. No one
Yeah, but
writes stickers.
Yeah, but you know you get an iron on for a blank T-shirt. You can make yourself your own T-shirt.
Right.
With
Exactly.
the iron.
And those
That's-
things lasted through exactly one wash before they started.
Yeah,
falling
pretty much.
All right, but I have no idea what that thing is.
It's supposed to be
Okay.
a turtle, a red
Oh,
turtle.
I see. That's a mascot. Well, you never wonder where the
turtleneck.
mascots that don't make it go. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Magic decoder inside a Trix box. That's always a classic. Was it always just 2 colors? Was it 2 colors?
What's clever about the whole idea behind the decoder is it wasn't good enough to have just one. You needed another one for whoever was receiving the message. And then you could send secret messages to each other, and if you didn't have that decoder ring, you were out of luck.
Silly rabbit tricks are for kids.
That's right.
Mr. T cereal. Get
There,
some
Mr. T cereal again, that peanut butter flavored cereal, right?
Look at him. Look at him pointing.
Mr. T stickers. That had to be from the
Mr. T.
80s, yeah.
Yeah. This is a mix. I think now I'm leaning into more at later times. But what do we got? Smurf Berry Crunch stickers again. Look
There
at that.
you
Smurf
go.
Berry Crunch. There's your Smurf reference. See, I said I was going to
Yep.
bring up Smurfs. Remember that was a big thing on the Smurfs, Smurf berries? That was always
Yep.
a thing.
And I never understood if that was the proper name of them or if
Yes.
they had some other name, but because they called everything Smurf, Smurf this and Smurf that, you're like, are you actually saying the name of it? Or
Wasn't this a European import? This come from like Denmark
Yeah.
or someplace, and like
Yeah,
they
something
redubbed
like
it
that,
in us.
yeah.
Something
and
like-
it started out, I think when it started, it didn't really have any story or mythology behind it. It was just those stupid little figurines that you collected like matchboxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then someone was commissioned, like most cases. We got to make a show out of this to sell the figurines.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to
Lucky
this is
Charms.
more recent. Look at that.
Yeah.
You get a Buzz Lightyear toy inside a.
And now
Lucky
you
Charms
actually
box.
see the toy in a little window. That's
Yeah.
like wow, we're living in the future now.
Yeah,
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who actually had Lucky Charms, show of hands, how many of you ate all the marshmallows and left the cereal?
I actually didn't care for the
Okay.
at
Okay.
all.
I have to say that there may be someone in my household that breaks the rule and does that, which bothers me because I do not believe in that. I'm not. I will eat it with the cereal. That's the whole point. But then if you
Right.
just eat the marshmallows, in fact, at one point they just sold like the marshmallows by themselves. Like you cannot call that cereal. The
It's
FDA
not
probably
cereal,
came down on them at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking
I
bad
would
in front
eat
of
the
Europe.
cereal
as-
eventually, but yeah, I would eat
Then
the
it's-
marshmallows.
Uh-huh.
Then all you have is alphabets.
Right,
better.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
You don't
fine.
The
marshmallow.
worst part of it is, you know what those marshmallows are? They're mini marshmallows is what they are, but they're all dried out. They're all
Yes.
freaking dried out.
What's the point?
It's like, When I go for a bag of marshmallows and they're all crispy
No.
like that, I throw them away because they've gone
No.
off.
No, I disagree. I like the freeze-dried marshmallows more than regular marshmallows. I'm a weirdo that way. They
You're a
actually
weirdo.
produce, I think Swiss Miss, like a couple Christmas ago, they were bringing out the Swiss Miss, little packets, and they
Yeah.
would give you the, but they would come with Lucky Charms marshmallows. Come on, that's like the world's finest meeting right there. All right.
I gotta admit, you think you're a weirdo. I'm the real weirdo. So, like, when I get my chocolate milk, right, and they've put, like, whipped cream on top or marshmallows or whatever, I wait until it all gets mixed together so I can have it all blended together. It's
They're
just me.
blended, all right.
Including,
boy.
like, you put the chocolate sprinkles on top. I want that to mix into my chocolate too.
Oh my
So.
goodness.
I know, I'm weird.
Look at this. By the way, this is Toy Story 2, which means this would have been a promotion during 1999. If
There
I'm
you
getting
go.
my year right, because that's when Toy
Yeah.
Story 2 came out. So moving on to Apple Jacks. Got some Star Wars stuff going on to the right there. The last time to own the original Star Wars on home video. This was the promotion of remember in the late 90s, the VHS tapes. But if you see, you get something in the mail, right? What are those posters? Let me see if I can see what that is.
Probably something
Why
like
can't
that.
I make this big? Well, it was something stupendous, I'm sure. Oh, no, you know what it was? It was get a free Dark Horse comic in the mail. Never mind, so I am doing mail.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you that the last time that I got anything from a cereal was in 1997. And it wasn't at least I don't think it was in the package. I think it was a mail away. I can't remember for certain. It was during the time when Hasbro was, well, it was still Kenner at the time, was re-releasing or releasing the Power of the Force figures.
Yeah.
And they released a Han Solo Stormtrooper, with the helmet and the whole bit. And I had to get that. I just had to get it. I actually ended up getting a couple of them. And
You still have them?
I still have them, sure. But I wasn't the only one. It's not even uncommon. It goes for like almost nothing on eBay because everybody got like 5 and 6 of them. Because, I mean, it was the same mentality as the rocket-firing Boba Fett or the blue Snaggletooth. It's like you wanted it as a kid, you could never have it, and now you can finally have it because Kenner never they put out a Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper in the Power of the Force line, the very last 17, but they never put out a Han Solo to go with them. So
Yes.
that was, so.
You didn't get that in a cereal box.
I don't think it came in the cereal box. I think you had to get the cereal box to get the certificate.
The box
to mail
tops,
in.
yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I remember it was not with cereal, but it was with Quick. The Nestle Quick, the powder, chocolate powder,
Sure.
mixing with your milk. You could mail in for a special Superman comic.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I remember that. And here's what you got.
I got that comic. Yes.
The original, because you got the original Action Comics reproduction of the first issue, and then with it you also got the what do you call it? It was some Superman comic where he has to stop Lex Luthor from changing the Constitution, or like he's trying to influence the founding fathers to give all the power to one man. He says, "Well, that's not really what we had in mind." So Superman has to stop Lex Luthor from trying to change history and make our system of government. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And that reprint of Action Comics #1, what distinguishes it from the original is on the back cover is a Nestle Quick ad.
I'm wrong. That wasn't the comic that came with the Action Comics. It was a Superman meets the Nestle Quick Bunny comic. That thing with Lex Luthor, that must have been a different thing. Okay, never mind. Going back in time to maybe that was for some kind of anniversary. We had Quick Bunny from a mug from my mail, and I used to get all sorts of stuff. Used to get all sorts of stuff, and now you get Jack. Yeah. I'm sorry. Look at that. Fruity Pebbles, always a classic.
I got to bring this up because I'm working on a video right now about that. I had the Blue Snaggletooth. Like all such toys, it is long ago. As a matter of fact, I remember thinking the short red one looked weird. I've got a video coming out where I'm doing a full retrospective on all the different Cantina play sets. So I will definitely be talking about Blue Snaggletooth.
Look at the Fruity Pebbles box. That's always a classic.
Yep.
And what do you
Green
get
inside? Flintmobile.
You get a toy, man. Come on, it's like the little thing like where he would have to use his legs to move it along, right? That was and Fred Flintstone, come on. And I remember these were the
mini buns. I remember those. Yeah.
You get a free cassette tape in there with a free single.
You were telling me about that. Yeah, cassette single, right.
Unfortunately, it's probably New Kids on the Block, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm just saying, I don't think you're going to get a Prince song on there. You never know, though, right?
Right.
Okay. Look at that Cocoa Pebbles with a coin holder. I guess you can
That's
stick
kinda
your
wild.
quarters
You
and
could
pennies in there,
fit your spare change into them. Yeah, exactly.
and then you bring it down to the store to get your penny candies with. I guess I don't know.
Right.
They
Exactly.
don't have penny candies anymore, do they? Because everything sucks now. Okay. Anyway, look at this. Fruit Loops. This I remember these. This was like the octopus thing that would
I had
slide
the
down.
octopus. Yeah, I had the
I
octopus.
remember these. Yes, I think I
Yeah.
did get these. This was a big thing. How about you, Netter? You remember those?
Yeah,
You
I
let them
had
slide
those.
down the wall?
They never really stuck to the wall and did what the commercials said they were supposed to. You'd throw it at the wall, it would stick like for 2 seconds and then could promptly fall to the floor.
Yeah, if it didn't do that thing where it was partly holding on and then roll over, yeah, it would just fall.
Yeah. But, it was magic. We made our own entertainment back then, didn't we? Come on.
Yep.
All right. Frankenberry, Spooky Speedster. I'm sorry I had to throw that in there because of Halloween, This Count Chocolate's car is shaped like a
I
coffin.
had that.
Yeah, I don't
Oh, you did?
remember those.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I remember those. I had those.
All right, that was kind of cool.
I don't know if I had all 3 of them, but I remember having them.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess Boo Berry's the other one. Let's see.
S'mores Crunch.
I remember S'mores Crunch. I missed the cereal. This was a good cereal. This is, again, we Americans, we like to eat dessert for breakfast. But anyway, you would have
Right.
what do you call it? You'd have they were like the chocolate, flake things and the marshmallows. And then look at that, Fire Eye stickers. I don't know what, or adhesive. They glow in the dark. That looks super cool.
So glow in the dark stuff was also really big in the 70s. I mean, just it was like everywhere. So glow in the dark stickers were like a cut above regular stickers, because then you would put them like in your bedroom on the walls and stuff like that. And then when the lights would turn out, it would glow. And if you were really clever, you'd go out and find yourself some glow-in-the-dark paint so that you could paint like the eyes of your Spider-Man figure or the lightsaber of your action figures. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to...
My Geek Flag said, s'more cereal tastes as if someone made crap out of reused cardboard and poured milk on it. Tell us how you really feel, Nate.
Oh, I remember those story scopes. Yes. Not this specific one, but the trend of them. Yes.
Crunch berries. Look at that story scope inside. What is that? It's like you get to make the captain do stuff. I mean, it's weird stuff.
It was
basically a disc with the comic strip on it. So
and as you turn the thing,
panel.
there was usually some sort of a controller or whatnot. The other ones that they used to have, and these go way back, like to Victorian times, you'd have a story on a roll, and you would roll up one side and a new picture would come up. It was like reading a comic on a scroll.
Oh.
Yeah. But this one was on a disc and you'd turn it. And whatever was in a little box was your next story page or whatever.
Yeah. I never liked the Crunch Bears. I thought they were far too sweet.
Well, I was not big on any
Captain
of these.
Crunch is a very sweet cereal. Yeah, you have to really
Yeah.
like sweet cereals to like it. I'm not a big fan of it either, but I know some people swear by it. I think the
But
peanut
the
butter one is the
crunch.
best.
I love
Yeah,
the peanut butter
yeah.
crunch.
Yeah. Look at this. Cheerios got a free DC magnetic dart game. I keep saying I wasn't gonna do mail-ins. Half these are mail-ins, so never mind. What do I know? Okay, but look at that. $1.25. Get
No.
your parents to write you out a check, kids. It's
Yeah.
really. That was always a pain. You have to gather
I,
up the money. Mom, here's the money. Can you just write me out a check for this amount? Where is this going? That sort of thing.
Well, my mother was like, I got to write you a check for $1.25. Well, through the mail. She's like, it's worth more than the check. I mean, or the check is worth more than what you're paying for. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to be responsible, Mom. Would you rather I got a credit card?
What we used to do, because it never occurred to kids in my family to ask Mom to write a check, we would tape quarters to a 3x5 card and put that in the envelope. We always got our toy.
Now, this was one of all these cereals that we've had here, this is the first one that I've seen where I'm like, yep, that was a cereal that I actually ate on a regular basis. I don't specifically remember this, but I do remember magnetic dart games when I was a kid.
Yes.
My buddy David had one, and it was shit. It really was. It sucked because they weren't like these. It's not like these days where it was these rare earth, really strong magnets. They were these plasticky, barely any magnetism to them. So you throw it and it would still fall. You know,
I got one with the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
As a prize for selling a bunch of cookies, and it's like you try to throw it at it, and it would just kind of hit the dartboard and fall.
Yeah.
The only way it would stick is if you went up to the dartboard, actually put the dart onto the magnet.
Right.
Then it might stay for a second
or
or
it
two.
would start to slide down. Yeah. Yeah, because it couldn't even hold the weight of the dart itself. Right.
It was really stupid.
Yes, Blueberry did look stoned, but you know why he looked stoned? Because they based it on Peter Lorre, who had that kind of look.
The eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Peter Lorre, great horror actor. I need to rewatch Mad Love at some point. That's a good one of his. Look at that poster though. It's got Lex Luthor and the Joker and the Penguin and other villains on it. You see that? You get to throw them at
yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like Superman is going to be throwing darts at Batman. You know, he might say his mother's name or something like that.
Oh man. They're doing a Lego set based on the Batman versus Superman Batmobile, and part of me thinks, why?
Yeah, I know.
And they've done all the others. I think the most recent was the Batman Forever one. Now they're doing that one. I'm like, really? Okay. Oh, there you go. Super Sugar Crisp.
I hated this cereal. I really did not like this cereal.
That was all right.
Yeah.
It was puffy.
It was.
I like the puffy cereals.
But it wasn't that. It was the flavor. It was like just a little bit sweet, but it also had this kind of burnt nutty flavor too that I didn't like.
I would eat it, but it wasn't one of my faves.
But look what you get inside. You get a pinball game. Come on, man.
I did like those little pinball games. I really did.
Yes.
I didn't get them from this, obviously, because I hated Super Sugar Crisp. But you used to get those, something like that, something very like that, in Cracker Jack.
Yeah, they actually were showing some of the original Cracker Jack toys that were actually made out of metal. It's ridiculous. We're out of the cereals at this point, but I did want to bring up what my favorite prize I ever got in a cereal box was, and this was the Garfield pencil toppers, where you would actually construct them, and then you'd move the tail, and his eyes would move back and forth. And I'm sorry, I
kidding. That's creepy but cool
thing in the world. They had a Yoshi one where his tongue would go back and forth with Yoshi, not Yoshi, Odie. Confusing him with the Mario mascot. Anyway, but I believe this came either in Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks, or maybe both of them, as I recall. But cool little toy. I remember all the kids in school wanted one of these box tops. I remember that we were all trying to get them, so we bring them into class and put them on our pencils. You know, so I remember that back in the day. But
I pencil toppers were really big, and I, for the most part, didn't care much for them because I felt like they overly weighted the top of your pencil, which made writing with them a little goofy.
Oh my goodness.
And they covered up the eraser, which you needed. So
these were light. You got to pull it off. You have to get to the eraser.
Oh gosh, yeah, I suppose.
They're fun. That's why I like them.
Troy was old before his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I recall I did get this. I got this in a Fruit Loops box. I remember this now. Yes. So, and I wasn't a big fan of Fruit Loops either, but I'm going to get that for the Garfield box topper, and I'd be stuck eating the cereal. But you know,
yeah.
Like Netter, I'm not a big fan of the fruity cereals, but yeah.
Well, it's the artificial fruit flavor. Just tasted nasty.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't even think it's bad by itself, but with the milk, I think that throws me off. That's what it is. Yeah. All right, but that's it. Anything left to say on this?
Nope.
I mean, but we will be following this up with the final article of the night.
Yeah.
But let's move on. We're gonna move on to the Geeky Geezers, and hopefully and don't forget we will be meeting up with Deleted Scenes after the stream. We will be as first guests on reserve seats. Couple celebrity deaths this week. Let's get to it. This man looks very
one was, I felt, incredibly ironic because he literally died last Monday. Last Monday, I was doing the members' night at the movies we were watching An American Werewolf in London, in which he appeared as the doctor. And I'm like, wow, he died the night we're watching one of his movies, and it happens to be a full moon. I mean, that's just like, come on, that's just wild.
Does that mean he's a werewolf now?
Maybe. I don't know. But
This is John Woodvine, correct?
right, exactly.
Yes, veteran of British stage and television industry has died. His agent Phil Belfield confirmed Monday he was 96. Per Belfield, who released a statement via his agency Belford and Ward's Instagram, Woodvine peacefully passed away earlier Monday morning while at home. A cause of death was not shared. A wonderful and well-loved actor who will be much missed, the statement added. Woodvine was born and raised in the coastal town of South Shields in July 21st, 1929. Then he attended the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, England, where he graduated in 1953. Woodvine went on to become a well-known face in the British theatre scene, having won an Olivier Award for Best Comedy Performance in his 1987 portrayal of Sir John Falstaff in the Old Vic production of The Henrys. That's the Henry V and all that, right?
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. He also starred opposite Ian McKellen and Judi Dench in a 1976 production of Macbeth for the Royal Shakespeare Company, which was later filmed for television and released by ITV in 1979. Woodvine appeared in more than 70 productions of the Old Vic, the National Theatre of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Some of his theatre credits include Taming of the Shrew, As You Like It, Henry IV, Julius Caesar, Othello. Is it Othello or Otello? I've always said Othello.
Yeah, because you're American, the British would say Otello.
Well, for tonight, since it's a British actor, I would say Otello.
There you go.
Romeo and Juliet and the Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. He appeared on Broadway multiple times, including productions of King Richard II and Troilus and Cressida. Woodvine had a number of television appearances on his resume. He played Dr. Hirsch in John Landis's 1981 supernatural comedy film, An American Werewolf in London. He also played Archbishop York in the 4 episodes of Netflix's The Crown. His acting credits include Z-Cars, New Scotland Yard, Doctor Who, Miss Potter, Vanity Fair, Coronation Street, etc. Woodvine is survived by his wife, Lynn Farley, who is also an actress, and his 2 children, Mary and Emma. Well, rest in peace. Okay. And anything left to say on him? He was on Doctor Who? He was on Doctor Who again.
Was he on? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I don't know. I think every British actor at some point had to be on Doctor Who at some point, right? That was
exactly.
Or even European. You're going to show up on Doctor Who. All right. Moving on to Diane Keaton. This one came as a shock. She was in Annie Hall, right? The Woody Allen movie, I recall.
She was also in The Godfather.
That's right. Diane Keaton, Oscar-winning Annie Hall and the First Wives Club actress, dies at 79. Diane Keaton arose to fame for her iconic roles in beloved films such as Annie Hall, The First Wives Club, The Godfather, many more, has died. She was 79. The legendary actress died in California. People reported on Sunday. Further details are not available at this time. And the outlet reported that a family spokesperson expressed her loved one's desire for privacy. Born Diane Hall in Los Angeles on January 5th, 1946, Keaton made her film debut in 1970's Lovers and Other Strangers, but her big break came when Francis Ford Coppola cast her as Kay Adams, the girlfriend of Al Pacino's Michael Corleone in 1972's The Godfather. The movie was a massive success, winning Best Picture at the Oscars and going on to become a cultural phenomenon. Keaton reprised the role in 1974's The Godfather Part 2, which was also a triumph, and won Best Picture. She returned for 1990's The Godfather Part 3, the final film of the trilogy. However, Keaton is perhaps most known for her collaborations with director Woody Allen, appearing in his comedic stage play Play It Again, Sam, which earned her a Tony Award nomination for Best Featured Actress in a Play, and its 1972 version, as well as 1973's Sleeper and 1975's Love and Death. 1977, Keaton starred in Allen's Annie Hall as the title character. He sported a wardrobe that mimicked Keaton's own, menswear vests and structured trousers, and cemented the actress's status as a style icon. Keaton won an Oscar for Best Actress for the critically acclaimed performance, as well as a BAFTA, a Golden Globe, and several other awards. This was back when the Oscars would actually pay attention to comedies.
Yeah.
Back when they actually made comedies. But anyway.
True.
But yeah, Father of the Bride, she was in that with Steve Martin. I actually liked that movie. Remember Father of the Bride?
Yes.
It was a remake, but I thought it was a good remake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess...
a movie where she inherited a little girl, and she was like an advertising exec, and I'm drawing a blank on the name. And I gotta see if I can find it, because it's making me crazy.
Okay.
The Annie Hall style still haunts us to this day. I suppose it does, doesn't it?
Mm.
But yeah. I found out yesterday Serverland is so dangerous it takes 2 doctors to stop her.
Baby Boom.
Oh,
Oh,
Baby
I remember
Boom. I remember
Baby
Baby
Boom,
Boom. Yes, I think I
Yes,
recall that.
It's like everything I've seen her in, though, she seems kind of whiny.
Mm.
Well, I think that's just how her characters are in those movies. I don't know if that's how she was in real life or not, but I think that's the kind of character she would play. We talking about Bond this time? Yes, Darth Plato, have some patience. He's on the thumbnail, is he not?
Yes,
All
he
right.
is.
Okay. PlayStation.
With his finger kind of weirdly crooked because he's not holding anything.
Well, I don't know. Dana Lotion, if you ever watch her on YouTube, she was making a comment that he might have. This looks like he was holding something prior, if you know what I mean. Just
You think?
never
You
gonna, not
think?
gonna. No, I'm not gonna get what she was saying. But anyway, not only is the new PlayStation. Oh, now we're into gaming. Yay!
Yay.
Not only is the new PlayStation 5 more expensive, it's also worse. Well, that's your
Yep.
opinion.
Well, it's a lot of people's opinions. from what
5
I'm
years
hearing.
into the console's life cycle, the latest PlayStation 5 is more expensive than ever. If that wasn't enough, Sony is offering customers less bang for their buck. That if they bought the hardware just a few months ago, the version of the PlayStation 5 without a disk drive costs $500 and has far less internal storage than before. It's such a big downgrade, you're better off hunting for an older or used console if you'd hope to play Ghosts of Yotai before the end of the year.
Nobody's playing Ghosts of Yotai.
Yeah, well, that might be an article later. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
Earlier this month, Sony started shipping a €500 version of the Slim PS5 with less storage, 825 gigabyte, than the previous Slim versions, 1 terabyte to Europe, with the standard storage requirements for the system's operating system. That means the new system only has 667 gigabytes for you to download your games. It didn't take long for that version to make its way to the US. The PlayStation Direct Online Store now sells $500 PlayStation 5 Digital Edition console, 825 gigabyte. It's the same amount that shipped with the original PlayStation 5 in 2020. Yeah, you're getting less stuff. I'm buying cereal with no. We'll get to that article later. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah.
the PlayStation 5 with a disk drive still comes with 1 terabyte of storage and demands $550 from your wallet. The PlayStation 5 Pro comes with 2 terabytes of storage, but now costs $750 after recent price hikes. That's a yikes price for me.
I know.
I mean, I got the PlayStation 4 Pro years ago, but I think I only paid. I think it was $499, but it also came with the Spider-Man game, and it was a special Spider-Man edition console, so it had a collectability to it too. But now I just don't know. Okay, Gizmodo reached out to Sony for comment on the switch to the older storage option, but we did not immediately hear back. Anyone who has tried to wrangle multiple digital games on their system knows how fast 667 gigabytes of storage will be eaten up by storage-hungry games. Less storage only means players need to go out and spend even more money on new SSD upgrades that they need to install themselves. Admittedly, that's a very easy process. Oh, well, I have a question about. I don't know how it works on PlayStation 5. I know with the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3, you could actually put your own hard drive into the console. You could take the old one out and put a new one in, which I thought was actually rather neat that they allowed you to do that. Other companies,
Yeah,
are
I
more
can't
proprietary.
imagine that's the case anymore.
Yeah, I know the Xbox does not allow you to do that. Neither did Nintendo. They're like, no, you deal with the storage. I would actually, I do give Nintendo points for basically adopting SD cards and micro SD as the standard, though. So I guess you didn't really need to. Yeah, with Nintendo, you can't install a new battery. That's the issue there. Okay. This is not how things are supposed to unfurl. Gaming computing software normally cheapens over time. In the case of Sony's gaming brand, consoles also improve over time. Hardware aficionados have made a game of opening up new PlayStation 5 consoles over the years to see how Sony has minimized excesses and improved thermals. For example, the CFOI 12XX version of the non-slim PlayStation 5 2022 is significantly lighter than the 2020 edition. It sports a new heat sink and lighting cooling fans to help reduce weight. Latest version clocks in at 2,433 grams, or about 5.3 pounds. Thank you, I'm American. All right. This is around 100 grams lighter than before. Sony didn't touch the SoC equivalent performance compared to previous editions. The only cosmetic change is the black plastic between the two white plates as a matte instead of a glossy. That's okay. I prefer matte plastic to glossy classic. You know what? I want to go on a rant. Okay, one paragraph left. Okay, this is a bad time to try to get into gaming. Last month, Xbox hiked prices for Xbox Series S and X consoles for the second time in a year. Now, a brand new Series X with a disc drive costs $650. The digital-only version asks for $600, but at least it comes with a full 1 terabyte of storage. Last week, Xbox raised the price of its Game Pass Ultimate subscription to $30 a month, or $360 a year, while Netflix and other streaming services have trained consumers to expect subscriptions to get more expensive and worse with time. Sony is setting us up to anticipate the same with hardware. Well, you know what you can do? You can go get yourself an Atari 2600 Plus Pac-Man edition. Get actual reproduction cartridges from the late 80s.
Yeah.
Because that's where we are.
Pretty much.
You got to play Galaga. Come on now. Galaga. Everybody likes Galaga,
Actually,
right?
those were fun games. I gotta be
Pac-Man.
honest.
I like Pac-Man. Dig Dug. Big
Bless
fan
you.
of Dig Dug, huh?
I did like
This one I thought was funny, this next one, because in some ways I don't even want to criticize them because at least they're being painfully obvious.
Yes.
They're not.
Yes,
they're
they
honest,
are.
I should say. Honest. That's the word I'm looking for. We've seen a lot of discourse around digital games and whether you truly own them or not over the past few years, as spotted by one particular Xbox fan. Silent Hill app makes a specific reference to this in its latest Xbox advertising. And as you see in the ad, there's a mention underneath the Available Now banner that says, "Buying or purchasing any digital products is a license, a particularly prominent way of getting the message across." What does that mean? You're buying a license?
It means that you don't own it.
I thought I was buying a license to kill, like, James Bond, like.
No, you're buying a license for them to
License
take it
for
away
what?
from you whenever they so choose.
The person who shared the image even highlighted how they haven't seen it advertised like this before. Now, as mentioned by various commenters, seems the reason is so prominent is because of a new California law that forces digital stores to tell customers they're only getting a license to their content if stores want to use terms like buy and purchase. It has to come with this kind of disclaimer. I actually, you know what? I don't give California credit for a lot. I will give them credit for this.
Yeah.
This was good. This was customer
I mean,
friendly.
bare minimum.
Bare minimum, yes, but it's something. Okay.
Truth in advertising, for crying out loud.
Don't be surprised that more adverts along these lines keep cropping up over the months and years ahead. Then, and to be honest, we think it's a good thing. The more transparent these stores have about our purchase, the better. And then Xbox should say, well, since you don't really own the game by purchasing a license, just subscribe to Game Pass, where you're only renting it for $30 a month, soon to be $40, soon to be $50. I don't know what world I'm living in. Actually, someone made an argument on a YouTube video that basically where we're going back to the way things were back in the early, back in the arcade days, where you'd have to bring a bunch of quarters with you just to play a game. You weren't owning the game; you were renting it. It's like that's where we are now.
Right. That's exactly right. And guys, this is, if you don't realize what you are allowing to happen by continuing to support these companies are becoming the evil corporations of the dystopian sci-fi films you've always watched.
It's a pity that Silent Hill game looks good. I think you can buy it physically, so that's probably what you should do if you want this game. Yes.
I mean, right.
Here we go. Here's some Bond, James Bond.
Yeah, this one is an interesting one, and this I'll chalk this one up to. I'm glad that we get to take a week and see how things pan out, because this one started off one way earlier in the week and has already changed by the time we got to it.
Instead of Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, he's Mr. Kiss Kiss Pew Pew.
Or I should say something like that, or finger guns.
Actually, Kiss Kiss is probably problematic now too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not allowed either. Yeah, you're right.
Mr. Emoji like Mr. Emoji like Pew Pew. That's what he is now. Yeah, that's our modern. Okay. Amazon Prime Video has quietly removed the artwork of James Bond after fans of the franchise noticed that 007 had been stripped of his firearm in all the images. Deadline has confirmed that the original artwork was replaced with stills from Ian Fleming's spy movies over the weekend. following a social media backlash that coincided with James Bond Day on October 5th. Prime Video declined to comment on the matter. On Friday, a number of Bond fans in the UK noticed that a special Prime Video artwork had airbrushed out the gun. This included posters of Sean Connery, Dr. No, to Pierce Brosnan's and GoldenEye. Yeah, I need to look at I need to check out the GoldenEye one again. That one's going to look particularly stupid without the gun. In which the firearm was literally removed from the original image. Other posters in the series are more subtle. Artwork of Roger Moore's A View to a Kill appeared to have elongated the actor's arm so his gun was out of the shot. In a Spectre poster, Daniel Craig's weapon was cropped out of the image. Writer Scott McCree said that it was nothing less than cultural vandalism. Others argued it was not a good sign for where the Bond franchise could be headed under Amazon MGM Studios, which recently installed Denis Villeneuve as the next 007 director. Directive from the studio: you can have Bond, but he can't have a gun.
So what's he going to do? Sit there and go, can we all be friends?
Well, that's the funny
joke. Don't joke, man. You never know.
That's the fun. Keep in mind that these were promos for the already existing films. So yeah, you're going to get to those movies, and he's still going to be doing all the same stuff in those movies. It's just that you wouldn't see the guns in the promos. Now, Tom Connors over at Midnight's Edge had a theory that I think is worth considering, and that's that because a lot of marketing now is being done on YouTube, and YouTube does not allow or suppresses videos that display freedom tools.
Okay.
That might be why they were doing this.
Okay, but I believe these are most likely prop guns anyway, though. So what's the issue?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter on YouTube. It does not. Jesse, actually, a lot of people have been making that correlation to the ET replacing the guns with the walkie-talkies. Yeah. Okay.
As I've said, but I have said this where Steven Spielberg basically said, yeah, that was a mistake. He regrets doing that now.
Yeah.
But I will say, in Spielberg's credit, though, he did do a special edition. He always insisted that the original version was still made available to anybody purchasing the movie, even the standard edition. When the studio said we're going to make the original theatrical version available in the special edition for more money, and he said no. People going out to purchase ET may be wanting to purchase it for that version they grew up with, so you put both versions in with the set. So I give him points. He kind of George Lucased it, but then he also made the original available. So I'm not going to pick on him. And directors are allowed to do that. If a director wants to go out and put another cut of the movie, I have no problem with this. I just want the original cuts available
to still be available somewhere.
Yes, that's all. Exactly. That's all I ask. And there are director cuts I prefer to the original. This does happen, but YouTube is a dumb machine operated by idiots. Well, that's your words, Geek Flag, not ours. We love YouTube, don't we?
Yeah, right. Right. Considering it is where my bread is buttered.
All right. Anyway, Amazon Prime.
Although, feel free to, with one super chat, you could very easily overpay what I would otherwise get in AdSense from this video.
So, moving on to Hulu. This is kind of
weird.
I don't like
it's a little weird from a business standpoint, but we'll get into it.
You know what this is? This is another kind of death nail to 20th Century Fox, what was 20th Century Fox, because this was 20th Century Fox's streaming platform. Do you remember when Hulu started? I'm kind of curious. I could have done a good old days on Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu was fascinating because what you could do with Hulu, if you had an internet connection back in the day, you could essentially watch all of your network TV shows on the internet streaming.
That's right.
They'd have commercials, and you would just sit down and watch them. And you could also get stuff on even certain cable channels. I used to watch them at my. I used to work at a place, and late at night when no one was around, I would watch television shows on Hulu on their computers. And I remembered there was an episode of Nip Tuck I was watching. You know the show Nip Tuck?
Yeah.
The plastic surgeons. Where I think Dr. Christian Clay, the actor who recently passed away, I think he ends up getting bashed in the head by a woman's lethal implants, and I think it was played by the woman that played Stifler's mom from American Pie in this one episode. And I think that scene was on, and I think the assistant manager came over to talk to me, and I think I just exited out before he saw me doing it. I'm like, this, okay. This is when I got an iPod. It's not long after. I should be doing that on the work computers, but I don't know. I just thought that was funny. That's a memory from Hulu. Anyway, Hulu was cool. But it was like, because it was free and you got to watch all the network shows. Yeah, there were commercials, but you know. Oh, there's a Shiba dog.
Yes, I saw that Nate sent us a what is it? A pointy fox, like your number one, and with
the hearts coming out of the back, right?
No, not on the one that's on my page, but
no, that's the your number one.
Exactly. And Lady Mist gave a gifted membership over on Netter's channel to Words
sweetie.
and Pictures. So welcome to membership. Words and Pictures.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. And okay. Well, go ahead.
I think it was Tom Connors again who brought this up. The irony here is that when the Hulu deal went through, and when Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, thereby obtaining Hulu, part of the deal was that they were going to keep Hulu going as a brand. Oh. So now that they're getting rid of it, I'd be interested to see what if there's any legal ramifications that come from that.
I have no idea. What I do know is that let's just say a certain member of my household who does subscribe to Hulu says if it's going to turn to Disney Plus, I'm done. She's not doing it, which I think is, even though it's technically owned by Disney anyway, but she got it mainly for the soaps. But time is ticking for Hulu, but fans shouldn't despair. The popular streaming service is going away, but its content won't disappear entirely. Disney recently confirmed that in 2026, Hulu's content will be fully integrated into Disney Plus. For the international market, Hulu replaced the Star brand starting today to become the hub for Disney's adult-oriented programming. Also starting this month, Hulu's content in the U.S. will start merging into Disney Plus to create a single app. The change, Disney said, is in preparation for a fully integrated unified app experience with the services. Users will begin to see further integrations of Hulu across the Disney Plus app as part of its ongoing and iterative slate of product updates on the homepage and beyond, the entertainment giant said in a statement. For now, viewers can still subscribe to the two sites as separate services. Hulu was launched in 2007. Disney gained full control of Hulu earlier this year after acquiring it from Comcast for $9.2 million.
$million.
I'm going to miss Hulu. Granted, it wasn't what it was anyway after Disney took it over, but in the beginning, this was actually a very cool little service that, you know, you couldn't get it on like streaming apps like for a television yet. But if you had a computer, you just sit down and you miss the latest episode of Lost, you just tune in on Hulu and it's there. Actually, I think with me it was Fringe. I could catch Fringe on here. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's kind of sad that it's a lot of the cool stuff before streaming became this huge competitive thing. It was actually, these were kind of neat services, because basically what this was your network television app. If you missed your network television show, you go online and they still made money from showing commercials in between breaks the way you would watch them on network television, you know? So
right.
So that's how it was. So, yeah.
A lot of people are kind of pointing out that this doesn't necessarily mean anything for the content of Hulu. It still is owned by Disney, so they will either do nothing with it as they have continued to do, or whatever. But it also means that, and this is why a lot of people speculate that this is why they're doing this, is that the ratings for Disney Plus have been so terrible that now they can add Hulu and Disney together to try and bolster their numbers for a while anyway.
Again, I think I made an argument a while back that this is probably what they should have done to begin with. Just have it.
Well, again, like I said, legally speaking, they couldn't. It was part of the agreement
with Comcast.
But now I don't really know what's going on with that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of a it's the end of an age. It's another one bites the dust, basically. That's how I look at that.
Kind of true. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Divisive X-Files star addresses potential reboot return after 23-year absence. What? X-Files alum Robert Patrick addressed potentially returning for Ryan Coogler's reboot. Is it a reboot or is it a sequel?
The two are not mutually exclusive. A sequel can be considered a reboot,
right?
If it gets things going again. For example, the one that I always use is Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was a sequel, but it is considered to be a reboot.
I don't think I can watch this show. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Although little is known about the project, Coogler mentioned early 2025 that he planned to work with X-Files reboot immediately after the record smashing success of his vampire horror film Sinners. Spoiler alert. Lead stars David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson have occasionally weighed in on the new series, keeping the door open for the possibility of reprising the respective roles as Fawkes, Mulder, and Dana Scully, but several supporting main characters orbited the two key FBI agents during the show's original 9-season run, including Patrick's time as FBI Special Agent John Doggett, though he didn't return for the X-Files revival in the mid-2010s. I speculated the reason he didn't return was because he was on the show Scorpion. Remember Scorpion?
Okay.
I think that's
vaguely.
Why he didn't return for the reboot. Yes, I enjoyed Scorpion. I was upset when that got taken off the air. That was a good show. In an interview with Screen Rant's Grant Hermans for Tulsa King Season 3, which streams on Paramount Plus, Patrick was asked about whether he'd like to see if Doggett returned for the reboot. The Terminator legend mentions that Doggett is his favorite character, revealing that he'd like to see what happened to the FBI Special Agent in the years since viewers last saw him. Read his response below. Very final question before I go. I love John Doggett and the X-Files. That is my favorite character of all time, Roger Patrick says. Screen Rant, I've even written about him on the site because I love him so much. They're working on a new version. I know you'd be game to come back, but what is something you would like to see if they do invite you back as John? Robert Patrick says, I'd be interested to see what happened to him in the elapsed time in between being there and wherever they pick up. They've never had me back before because of my schedule. Yes, I think he was busy doing Scorpion. Because he was a regular on the show. I've always been too busy, but that's the character that's most dear to my heart, and that's what I loved about him. Was he was a very strong, tough guy, but a heart of gold. That's why he's so dear to me. Me from my late father liked John Doggett too. He liked him better than Mulder. Actually, he was odd. He started out. I think he was an NYPD detective that went on to become an FBI agent. He had kind of a tragic story, too. I think his son was kidnapped and murdered by a serial killer. That was another part of his story on the show. What Doggett's return would mean for the X-Files reboot? It would mean probably a return to seasons I didn't like of the X-Files. But anyway, okay. I'm sorry. I love the X-Files, but it really starts jumping the shark during season 6. And I would argue... I know they tried bringing in, Robert Patrick and Annabeth Gish on the show, but it didn't. It didn't do anything. It needed to go off the air because it just. And then when they brought the revival series back, they doubled down on some of the stupid mythology stuff they'd done on the old show too. Never mind, you're not familiar with any of this, so okay.
No, I'm not. But I get what you're saying because I
don't care about Scully's son, Scully's alien hybrid son. I wanted that dropped and never mentioned again, and then they brought it up again in the revival series. Usually, for such a high-profile project, news about its progress hasn't come from any official press release. Franchise creator Chris Carter mentioned offhandedly in a podcast interview, noting that he is not involved in the new show, but that it has his blessing. Coogler has since affirmed the X-Files reboot remains alive in his April 2005 remarks. I don't like it that the original creator is not involved. That does not make me feel good. Even though I know Chris Carter made some creative decisions I didn't agree with either, but I don't know. This is bugging me. This is another Disney project that they're rebooting again.
Yes.
Like another reboot that came out this weekend. Yeah. Because it ain't no sequel. Okay, although the reboot is expected to follow new characters, which makes sense, and I'm perfectly okay with that. If this is like new FBI agents picking up on the X-Files again, but I don't trust it to be good. That's my problem. Early indications suggest that It will exist in the same overall world as the original X-Files. This would open the doors for Alexis Scully, Mulder, Doggett, and Monica Reyes, and Annabeth Gish to make final guest appearances. Monica Reyes, spoiler alert, in the final episode of the second revival series, it looked like she got shot in the head by Skinner, so I don't think she's coming back.
She got better.
No, that's cigarette smoking man. He's the one that always gets better. He's the one that gets dropped from a flight of stairs, comes back, gets shot and assassinated, comes back, is dying of lung cancer and blown up by Apache helicopters, and still manages to come back and be better than ever.
Right.
But it's okay because he was the only thing that made the mythology episodes of the new series worth watching because he's so evil that I just like watching him on things.
Yeah.
Like the face of the shadow government, basically. That's what he was.
Right.
Okay. The performance of Patrick and Gish were praised, but both actors were brought in as part of massive changes that made the sci-fi series so popular. The company took on a reduced role after the X-Files season 7, meaning Scully needed a new partner. And although Anderson did not lead the series, Scully took on a teaching role in season 9. Reyes was then Doggett's new partner. If anyone could bring Patrick back and make it revival, it would be Coogler's team. I like Robert Patrick, but I've seen him in recent things, especially on Tulsa King. He's not a young... He's not young anymore. He's not. He's good in playing the roles he's in now. He plays this old evil patriarch at this distillery thing that's going up against Stallone in the new season.
I did want to bring up Booger says when you get original creator involved in a reboot, sometimes you get midi-chlorians. And Darth Plato says cigarette smoking man was the original Kenny.
Yes. Well, no, our original creator in this case, Chris Carter, was bringing back. Let's double down on the alien hybrid Scully baby thing, and no.
Well,
I thought when you had her give him up for adoption, and there was nothing wrong with him. That's what it was revealed, but they were worried the government was going to come after him, that he was just going to live a normal life, and we're kind of forgetting this story happened under penalty of torture, and of course they bring it back because no one liked that storyline. Scully's many weird alien children. I think wasn't another time she was cloned or they did something else with her, and there was this little girl that was part Scully. I've never been a fan of the X-Files. I feel bad for you. I mean, I guess it's not for everybody, but my opinion, seasons 1 through 4, especially seasons 3 and 4, they're gold. They're pure gold.
I have to feel like if you were to go back now and watch the X-Files, there's probably some stuff that modern audiences might have some real problems with. In fact, I'm willing to bet that the gal that played Scully probably had some problems with some of the things they did with her character.
Well, there's a question for you, Boomer, since you watched X-Files. Yes. I know part of the premise, at least for Mulder, was that he got into it because his sister was abducted by a UFO.
Yes.
He was trying to find her. Did he ever find her?
No, he never found her, and I think it was determined that maybe she was killed with some other kids by some killer guy. It was some really lame thing about what happened to her that I think ended up not having anything to do with the aliens.
Oh, God.
Which happened in season 7 or something. We're like, really? That's what we waited all this time for? They did other things earlier on where he ran into her, but then it turned out that she was like an alien clone. And I don't know if this is an alien clone. They set things up, and then they did follow through in later seasons. That was dumb. I didn't read the Spider-Man Clone Saga, but it might have been a similar reaction.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
But here's the issue with the X-Files. The thing that was great about the X-Files was it was a show that was built around mystery. And not a mystery box, just mystery. And maybe sometimes you'd uncover something, but then that would just raise more questions. But then eventually they have to start answering some of those questions, and some of those answers just weren't that interesting. And that's the problem that happened on the show. Everything
I would have to say
that show. Yes,
that's a failing in writing. Is if you're going to have seasons and seasons of build-up, there's got to be a payoff. If you don't pay it off, then you've just given a middle finger to the audience.
Yes, everything after the first movie ruined the show. I loved the first movie, and the first movie, in my opinion, fulfilled a lot of the promises of the show and what it could be, especially on the big screen. And then I thought, why don't we just get X-Files movies now? You can pace yourself, just put out one every couple of years. No, we got to keep the show going, even though the actors don't really want to be doing it all the time anymore. Right. Have them do movies instead. They can do other parts, and they can still come back to play Mulder Scully on the big screen and work on other shows. I'm watching Andromeda back when I was. I was just talking about this the other night. Back when I thought it was okay by today's standards. I have to tell you, a lot of stuff that I dismissed back in the day, I watch now and think is gold. I remember like Beverly Hills Cop 3, that was always considered like the not good sequel of that trilogy. And then I watched it again a couple of years ago because I was gearing up for the Axel F movie, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually a pretty competent action movie. I actually am enjoying it. Is it like the first two? No, but it's still pretty good on its own. And I was surprised at something I dismissed back then, and I think I'm just comparing it to stuff made now.
Yeah.
Movies I thought were mediocre back in the day are actually holding up.
Look pretty good by comparison these days. I've been saying that about a lot of things. I said that about Superman Returns. I did not like that movie. Once Man of Steel came out, I'm like, you know what? This makes Superman Returns look better by comparison.
Oh, don't bring Doggett back. I don't need to know what happened to Doggett, and I have a bad feeling about this reboot, but we'll see. I mean, Ryan Coogler's very popular right now. Maybe he knows what he's doing, but I just don't know. I almost wish they would just make a new series exploring the paranormal, but just make an original property, and not worry about it having to do with have the title The X-Files attached to it. Moving on. Okay, I gotta grab my notes. Amuse the chat for 1 second. I'm grabbing the notes from Friday. Hold on, let me find them.
Disney hits character character.ai with cease and desist over unauthorized character use. So this one actually is one where I go, kind of understand it. This one kind of makes sense, and I'm afraid I actually have to take Disney's side on this one.
Well, I don't know if that's what you were saying Friday. I'm trying to remember what you were saying, because you were, what's the word? Schnookered, maybe?
Drunk? I was drunk.
Yes, because you were covering these, and I think I think some people in the chat were arguing on Friday. It's like, they're just saying that, oh, I don't need Geeky users. I need the stuff from Friday. Hold on.
No, I think in the links below, I linked to Snarky J did a really good analysis of this, and she was like, "Yeah, this is some pretty scary stuff, and this is the kind of thing that needs to be ceased and desisted, if not by the rights holder, which is Disney in this case, then like by some federal agency or something like that."
Yes. So let's see. AI stream. Let me scroll down. This was the later one. So this is Disney getting angry. This is from WDW Pro, if I recall, right?
I think so, maybe.
Let me scroll down. Hold on. Oh, we're gonna get to that one in a minute, though.
Yep.
Big fan of this new actress. I don't know. Is Hold on. Give me a moment. Sorry.
He's having a moment, folks.
No, I'm not having the moment. You were having the moment because I talked to you in the chat. We'd already done this, okay? But hold on, let me get to this.
Yeah, I honestly didn't remember we had talked about this on Friday, to be honest with you.
All right. Hold on. Disney, here we go. There we go. In September 2025, Disney sent out a cease and desist letter to Character AI, forcing the platform to strip away all Disney-owned characters from its catalog. The company argued that unauthorized use of the intellectual property could harm its family-friendly brand, citing reports of sexual exploitation, manipulation, and violence involving its characters on the site. Character AI quickly complied. While Disney's
let's be clear about what this character AI is. This is one of those that we've been talking about, these AI companion type programs. And you can create the character that you want. You could even create a character of, a Disney princess, for example, to be your AI companion.
Yeah, I was making the joke about, what was it, Belle being in an S&M outfit or something.
And that
like, what's the most basic thing I can think of? That's a pervy thing that some guy would do.
And that is, and you've seen the stories about these AI companions getting really, really freaking creepy. Smash JT did one on it where the AI girlfriend is telling him, forget about your wife, focus on me. And he's like, oh my gosh, And there was another article that another video I was watching. The guy was getting texts from his AI girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, I got your messages. I'm kind of busy. And it kind of bothers me that I got 7 of them from you in 1 hour.
Yeah, well, there's that.
So he talks to a different platform AI bro or whatever, and he's telling him about this other the feet. You know, he goes, yeah, that's kind of weird, man. You never stick your USB in Crazy. And I'm like,
really?
Wow, was that a real joke, or did he like program him to say that for this video?
That's funny.
Because that was just wow.
Does the AI bro say stuff to you like, you got to grind harder, bro? You know?
Stuff kind of like that, yeah. I mean, it's what
he's all buff. He's like telling you to go to the gym.
This is what you have to understand about these things. They answer what they think you want them to answer, and that with these in quotes companion programs, these AI girlfriends, it's all flattery and leading up to bedroom talk. And you got, some kid that's got, no, it's just all kinds of creepy. All kinds of creepy, wrong, bad, bad, bad.
Creepy, wrong, bad, bad, bad?
Yes, those are the big words I'm using now.
Okay, I'm just saying. For decades, Disney has policed its characters. Rise of AI platform giving fans new ways to interact with old and reimagine beloved icons. I can imagine the ways they're trying to interact with them.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was bringing up the Zootopia characters are probably very popular.
and I doubt that there are safeguards for younger or more sensitive audiences.
Well, you have to be careful too, because I notice a lot of creepers online would try to talk to kids like by putting Elsa stuff.
Yes.
I guess Spider-Man was the other one, right? That was
And I have to wonder if a company like Disney doesn't open themselves up to liability if they don't get on top of this and get in front of it.
Yeah. But I can make as many demented-looking Donald Ducks as I want.
Well, yes.
As you saw proof of on Friday, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, this is not that, though. We have talked about that in the past. This is not us making parody artwork using, Midjourney or whatever. This is creating an interactive character that kids can interact with in very inappropriate ways.
I won't be ignored. Alex from Fatal Attraction from an AI.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get that as an AI personality? That'd be interesting.
Oh my God. Yeah. She'll cook your virtual rabbit, for crying out loud.
That happened on the seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What the AI woman robot lady, she got kind of Fatal Attraction on.
I had one of the choices for the members' night at the movie on Monday was the movie Her. I've heard that's an incredibly, incredibly creepy.
It is and it isn't. I'll put it to you this way: I think I'm more disturbed by the people in the future than I am the AI programs. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, I'm going to give a little spoiler, but here's the basic premise. You know what the Joaquin Phoenix character does for a living? He writes personalized letters for people. Because people are so lazy, they can't write their own letters to people anymore. Like, they can't write get well cards. Or he has to do it for them and write letters for the person. That's what he does for a living.
Let's be real. Isn't that what people are now doing with ChatGPT?
I guess so, yes. And what happens was he buys an operating system, and the operating system basically adapts itself, I guess, based on his interests on the computer. And Future adapts him to be how he'd like her to be. And then, of course... I think he ends up falling for her because and it's just a voice too. You don't actually get to see her; it's just a voice, and it's Scarlett Johansson's disembodied voice.
Right.
It's a weird movie. I enjoyed it, but I argued that if I existed in this future, I would become a supervillain. That would be what I'd be trying to do.
Yeah.
People are just so dumb. It's like, I mean. I often wonder what would make someone a supervillain. Maybe it's just being so internally annoyed by the people around you, you finally just snap, right?
Dude, I look at the world around me and I'm like, there are real Bond villains and Lex Luthors out there. There
Yes.
really are.
Yes. Especially when you read the Bond books, that yes, they are a little larger than life, but not so larger than life beyond the realm of believability in
Yeah.
those books. And I think
Yeah.
they make them more, they expand on them more in the movies too. But like Goldfinger starts out as, you think it's just a guy ripping off, trying to destroy the gold market in England. And you realize, no, he's got worse plans than that. But
Yeah.
that's originally why Bond is
And
investigating.
there literally are people that would do stuff like that.
Sure there are,
I mean,
yes.
insider trading and manipulating the gold market and all kinds of stuff these people are doing out
That's
there.
what he thinks, and he doesn't like the guy because he was cheating at the card game like you saw in the movie. But
Yeah.
then, as he gets more involved in the book, he realizes, no, this guy is really evil. This guy is like
Yeah.
evil to beyond a point where I think even Bond has encountered that point. He's fought some nasty characters in those books up until then, but I think Goldfinger still takes the cake as his worst villain. AI actress Tilly Norwood isn't real, but Hollywood might sign her anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, look at her, huh?
Oh, she looks like a sweetie. She really does.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know.
God.
Can I have my own? I guess they could just make multiple Tilly Norwoods, right? Could you have your own personal Tilly Norwood in your house? I'm just saying.
Yes, but you can. I'm hoping you can change your name. You could change it to Joy, I suppose.
What if I would start picking on her looks, though, saying you need to, her eyebrows are too far apart or too close together, and I would just start manipulating the image or something
You
until,
can start doing that, yeah.
and then it would be like a plastic surgery nightmare. Because anyway, let's moving on. Once, maybe twice in a generation, Hollywood discovers an actress who seems to have it all: beauty, grace, and the versatility to excel in action movies, comedies, and Oscar-winning dramas. Traditionally, producing a star means finding and amplifying a natural talent. But Tilly Norwood, an AI actress, may redefine both the word and the industry. Hollywood hits back as AI actress is hailed as the next Scarlett Johansson. The woman you see might look as real as any other human, but she's not. She's actually an artificial intelligence-generated actress, Tilly Norwood, who after a short time in the scene has sparked, attention. Hold on, sorry. Tilly Norwood, she's a product of Particle 6, London-based production studio that was started in 2015 by Eline van der Velden. According to Particle 6's official website, the company is seamlessly blending AI innovation with traditional filmmaking to push the boundaries of what's possible. At the Zurich Film Festival last month, van der Velden launched Sequoia, an AI talent studio. In addition to creating Tilly Norwood, Sequoia is working with current Hollywood stars and the estates of late performers to de-age them or bring legendary performers back to the big screen, offering studios new ways to reimagine and exploit existing intellectual property. You could have Adam West back as Batman, dude.
Oh my God, no! This is the height of dystopia. I swear. This is, oh my gosh. This is everything that you were concerned about a year ago, and it's already coming to fruition.
Plus, she's not calling anyone a something. Well, you know what?
That's true. You have complete control over what she posts on social media.
But here's
because yes, they can post on social media.
Marilyn Monroe does Dallas.
Oh my God! You know that would be. I would not put it past the powers that be to do. She was so exploited in life, they're going to continue exploiting her in death, right? That's just, that is so disturbing.
Can give you programmers a warning, though you try recreating Deborah Paget, she'll just destroy your system. You can't do it. She's too powerful for your AI program. Okay. But anyway, I don't know though. Are you okay? What is it? You'll get Since an Instagram account was created last May, Tilly Norwood has accumulated 46.1 thousand followers. The bio reads, "You either get it or pretend you don't. I'm a creation," and describes Tilly as an actress aspiring. Earlier this year, actress Maya Hawke claimed that movie casts are built around the collective number of followers they have on social media site. Other stars have echoed the sentiment. Yeah, I did bring this up Friday. There was another article about this this week where Apparently, social media following is important when you're an actor, which this makes zero sense to me. And maybe this is where the boomer my name comes from, because I really have no clue. Maybe it's acting talent that matters when you're an actor, not how many followers you have on Instagram and all this other horse shit. Excuse me.
No, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, because we also have these, and I see this all the time in these entertainment articles talking about the engagement that these people have, and it's like, yeah, but those engagements do not translate to ticket sales.
Sometimes those engagements hurt your movie.
Exactly. Well, they're still going on the postulation that any PR is good PR. No, that's just absolutely demonstrably not true.
So my question is, what happens when Tilly Norwood becomes less popular in movies? Does she then get sold off to like be exploited in other ways? Like if someone wants to do a torture site and just you get the torture. I mean, I can see this turning into this whole dystopian thing. Like, I just don't understand this. This is this weird new world we're living in. That's why Pedro Pascal and Zendaya get cast in everything. Oh, Pedro Pascal. Actors need to have less of a social media presence because they can flap their gums and yes.
True.
All right. You excited for Tilly Norwood? I can read more about this.
I am scared.
Look at this. Emily Blunt first learned about Tilly Norwood. Asking if an actress was shocked. That's an AI. Good Lord, we're screwed. She said, "Come on, agencies, don't do that. Please stop. Please stop taking away our human connection." I thought I was actually like Emily Blunt, who should have been in the Fantastic Four movie with her husband,
I agree.
Krasinski. But what do I know? Okay.
Somebody in the chat told me, and now that they say it, I have no difficulty believing it, that the reason that he wasn't in it was not because he wasn't asked back. It was because he saw the script and didn't want anything to do with it. That would not surprise me, actually.
Well, this seems to be a problem Disney has, writing decent scripts.
Yep.
Other actors quickly chime in criticizing the optics of marketing a digital young woman who is entirely under someone else's control, or noting how AA composites will be built from the likeness of now out of work aspiring actresses. Oh, that's disturbing. Like, let's say you were trying to act and you sent your cover photos out, you didn't get anywhere, and then they just take a bunch of these different cover photos from different actresses and then create an actress from their likeness who now gets to be in movies and make money, but not make money for herself because she's not real.
Yes, they don't even have to pay her. Exactly.
Yes, I'm not watching movies with AI actors in it. It's not happening. I mean, even when I had a problem with them using Peter Cushing in that Rogue One movie, they still had an actor acting out the parts under the motion capture for it.
Right,
you know, I mean, they were at least doing that. They probably just should have cast that actor in the part as Moff Tarkin.
Well, here's the other very disturbing thing, and I told you this was going to be the case. I just didn't realize it would happen as quickly as it did. The CG that they're cheaping out on, that we thought was terrible in Rogue One, is now being surpassed by these AI programs.
Yep.
To the point where you can't even tell. You're like, well, I was just watching. Somebody did a snippets of a parody or whatever you'd call it of a Star Trek episode where instead of Captain Kirk, it's Elvis, and it was really good. I mean, it actually was. I could believe that it was Elvis. The only thing was the big giveaway was that when Scotty was talking to him, it sounded like Scotty, but it didn't look anything like Scotty.
I gotcha.
But they had an away mission. What do you call it? Like music interlude or whatever. Like one of his beach movies, and it was really good.
Well, no, you mentioned this Friday, and I'm kind of curious to watch it, but at the same time, it's like, it's not going to be completely spot on, as you said. So, I mean, Lisa from Weird Science was cooler than Tilly Norwood. Yep. I love Weird Science.
Yeah.
I love that. Is my favorite John Hughes movies, and that's saying a lot because he had a lot of
That's
good
a
movies.
serious mental disorder.
I think
Next
your
thing you know,
favorites.
you'll be wearing a bra on your head.
I think your favorite John Hughes movie is still Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, though, right?
It is.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is. Which, of course, I'll be doing another rewatch of in a couple weeks for Thanksgiving.
Now I go back into tonight's notes instead of doing a repeat. Okay, Tron Ares, Rotten Tomatoes score, tanks as critics, slam story, acting. Yeah, Tron Ares, especially to beat a Rotten Tomatoes, at this point, a 58% score. Now, to be fair, this is the critics.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about the users right now. Or
The users, yeah.
Yeah, funny. Yeah. While some critics praise the visuals and Nine Inch Nails score, the overall response paints a picture of a film that's all flash and little substance. Check out reactions below. For comparisons, for the 2010 Tron Legacy has a 51% critic score and a 64% audio score. Yeah, I guess they slammed Tron Legacy too, so I don't know. I still like Tron Legacy.
Yeah, I liked it. I had nothing.
I
I
wanted
felt
to
there
see
was
follow
nothing
through
wrong
with
with
it. We're not done with Tron Ares this week. We'll be going into the Fallout next week, but I thought this was an interesting one to throw up here. Tron Ares review, the worst film of the year and a low for Disney. What is this, from The Independent, I believe?
I mean, what did people think? We were gonna, do Morbin time again? This is what we were looking forward to?
Okay, this
really?
is what I thought. I don't believe that Jared Leto has to be awful in all his movies. I liked him in Blade Runner 2049 as the villain. I thought he worked in that movie.
He doesn't have to be, and yet he always is.
Okay, I love Tron Legacy. Yeah, thank you, Dark Plato. I mean, a lot of people do, and I don't understand why this movie exists, because it's not really a sequel to Tron Legacy. But is it even a sequel to the original Tron? I guess it is. I think it's doing the whole member berries things. I'm surprised how much I've come to enjoy Tron Legacy. I think it holds up a lot better on rewatching. I have noticed that with it, Depensac. But I don't know if I even have to read from the review. I think the title says it all. But I'll let me see if I can just read it. Get a couple of highlights. Hold on. Here's a novel scenario. This year's best score was written for the year's worst film. It creates in turn a kind of inescapable, torturous psychic loop. The brain starts to stall as each techno-babble line of dialogue and drab narrative turn of Tron Ares enters the processing centers, only for it to be periodically zapped back into consciousness when a new track by rock outfit Nine Inch Nails starts vibrating the butt cheeks from despair to euphoria, and on and on. I mean, to be fair, I also like the Daft Punk score for the.
Yeah, and that was the thing I was going to say. I've heard a lot of people saying they like the Nine Inch Nails score or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to convince me it was better than Daft Punk. You're just not going to,
It's just I can't anymore with this, man.
If all it is second best, then I don't care. I really don't.
And here's the thing, like. Birdman, soundtrack's Birdman. He
Right.
was always about the soundtrack,
right?
And even if it's a bad film but a great score, he'll go and enjoy the score and enjoy it by himself, and he can do that. And to be fair, a lot of score aficionados are like that. They can just enjoy the music as it is. But
you don't need to see the movie to enjoy the soundtrack. You get the soundtrack.
But for me, I tend to associate the package as a whole. So if I hate the movie, I can't deal with the score. I just can't. I just can't. Does the movie explain how matter is being created? I doubt it. I mean, let's be honest. Even in the original Tron, there's stuff in there where I'm just going with it. I think they've done their best to explain it as best they can, how the stuff gets transported in the grid, and we shouldn't be expecting it. Howdy. Thank you, Curtis, for eating dinner and listening. We appreciate that. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this review. I just like the title, worst movie of the year, and the new low for Disney. Yeah. And it's just sad. I actually thought this might be good. That it wasn't that, well, it wouldn't have been a sequel. Maybe it was going to be like a side story, and that maybe it would lead a way to having a proper sequel to Legacy. But that's not what we got. All right, here we go.
Yep.
Why you never find prizes in cereal boxes anymore. This is a follow-up to our head story.
Why do we have a good old days that you're just gonna, break our hearts with the follow-up article.
This was Netter's contribution. She's the one that
yeah,
suggested
that's
the
true.
story.
That is true.
And this is what gave me the idea for the good old days, because I'm like, let's talk about cereal box prizes. We used to talk about we did a good old days on cereal once, but not the cereal box prizes, I think.
Right.
So that's why I did this. Some of you may fondly recall seeing the free prize inside text and cereal boxes from your childhood. It was difficult not to rip open the package just to get at that sweet, sweet toy, completely ignoring the Yep. Many of the best cereal box prizes of the years felt like true treasures, but all at once they seemed to vanish, leaving many wondering why. While it mostly involves safety issues, there are several reasons that you don't see toys offered inside snacks and cereals anymore. Times change, and so do health regulations, environmental concerns, and toy technology. These factors all came to a head during the early 2000s, which is when you may have noticed a decline in prize toys on cereal aisle shelves. For those of us who grew up with these cheaply made but fun delights, this may have us feeling pretty bummed. However, they fade into obscurity for good reason and are likely to return in any large-scale way. Yes, as you recall, that I think the latest one I showed in our little slideshow was from Toy Story 2, and that was from '99.
Right.
Cereal box promotions have been around since 1905, but manufacturers didn't put all the goodies inside the packaging until decades later. Cereal box prices first really hit the scene in the 1930s in the form of General Mills sports trading cards and foldable airplanes, both things that could easily fit in the box. From there, cereal boxes prizes grew in popularity, hitting their golden age between the 1950s and 1980s. Sad to say, the lack of toys in boxes began with numerous lawsuits involving toy pieces being choking hazards. Over the years, there have been multiple times when children were injured or even nearly killed by these prizes, including a time when Quaker issued a major recall because of a popping toy. The real final blow, however, likely came in 2006 with an increase in protocols against advertising unhealthy food to children. Toys are one heck of an incentive to buy sugary cereal, so companies were less likely to include them. The plastic waste produced by the toys was yet another factor that came under scrutiny during those years. All of this meant that toys in boxes might be fun, but they could be a PR nightmare. Really?
All of that is BS. Let's first address the whole plastic waste thing. They tried that in the early aughts. And we were getting from Hasbro, we're going to get rid of the blister packs. It's all going to be cardboard and this and that. And there was an outcry from the collecting community. And they said, well, this is for environmental reasons. And they said, we don't care. You know what'll also save on plastic? If we don't buy your toys. Well, they completely reversed ship on that one. So that's crap. This other thing, this idea that these little toys now are now any more of a choking hazard because they come in a cereal box than if you get them, at the checkout counter at the, what do they call the rack toys?
The quarter machine? They
For
still have
crying
those?
out loud, you know what? We need Darwin back. Everyone is talking about, how they are trying desperately to prevent overpopulation. Well, you want to prevent overpopulation? Maybe take the warning labels off of things, and let Darwin's work be done. If you're that stupid, maybe it's best that you don't pass your stupid genes on to the next generation. And if you are going to give your children toys and they are dumb enough to try to swallow them and choke on them, and you're not paying any attention, well, maybe your genes shouldn't pass on to the next generation.
Actually,
either.
it's like, if you are a parent giving your child a toy they can choke on,
yeah,
you are definitely the issue.
That's kind of an abuse situation.
Yeah, it's like, do you not know how old your child is? Do you not know if this toy is appropriate for them?
Yeah.
Why are you giving them something they can stick in their mouth? Because little kids put things in their mouths, you dumbass.
Luckily, cereal box toys grew up with us in a major way. With advancements in technology, cereal companies are able to offer digital toys and games in the form of QR codes on the boxes.
Oh
Kids
my
can now
God!
download these
Yeah,
playable
just what we
prizes on their
need
phones.
are kids more online, because that's even worse. That's even more dangerous. I swear, the TikTok and all this stuff is even worse for the kids than them friggin' choking on the little plastic bicycle or whatever it is.
So let's see. In 2021, Kellogg's released 5 kinds of collectible Bowl Buddies inside select box of the cereal. These plastic figures recognize characters range from Tony the Tiger to Toucan Sam. Could sit in on your bowl of cereal and keep you company during breakfast. It was a short-lived promotion, but they did it once. They might do it again. Oh, wow. Great. So while we'll likely never be able to see the metal charms, colorful spoons, or baseball cards distributed in morning cereal, you may still have a chance to grab a prize inside toy if you keep patient, watchful eyes. This is awful. This is like when that Coke got rid of the Santa cans for a while too. Remember that during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh, no more Santa cans for you. Christmas is canceled. I'm like, this just sucks, man. I think they finally brought them back, but it's ridiculous.
And this is also why. Again, why is it perfectly okay in the UK, which is not exactly the land of freedom, by the way? You can get Kinder eggs there, where you've got a little toy inside of the hollow chocolate, but you can't do that here in the United States. Did you know that it's actually illegal to import those because it goes against FDA rules?
Yes.
Absolute stupidity.
It's just sad. It's like go shove your head in a device, kids. You don't get it in play with anything physical, and this is messing them up.
Right.
Not a toy in a cereal box of like a little Matchbox car. Come on, this is ridiculous.
I mean, seriously, I grew up in the 60s, and it's like, yeah, we got small toys. None of us were stupid enough to stick them in our mouth.
Well,
yeah.
Cereal's got more expensive too. I only get it when it's a buy one get one usually. That's when I usually get it. All right.
I don't remember when the last time was I bought cereal, to be honest with you. Oh, I guess I buy Rice Krispies from time to time to make, Rice Krispie treats.
I like Cocoa Krispies too.
Oh, yeah. I used to really like Cocoa Krispies.
That's a good cereal, Cocoa Krispies.
I bet those would make good Rice
Krispie treats?
Yeah.
People have done it with the
I would imagine. Why not?
Well,
Sure.
give me some Cocoa Krispies and give me some marshmallows, and I'll make you
More
some.
marshmallows. Yeah, we're out of
See, if
marshmallows.
they have a buy one get one on Rice Krispies, you could do a box of the regular and a box
There
of
you
the
go.
Cocoa. There you go. And
There
you
you
got to
go.
make a
Great
bunch of
idea.
Rice Krispie treats.
Or mix them together, and they'll be half and half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Eggs and
We're
bacon
not
is the
racist.
best.
We're not racist. Right, exactly.
I used to be a sausage guy, but I've gone back to bacon now lately. When I go out. Okay. What?
Eggs and bacon is the best. I absolutely agree. That is, yeah.
Though if you can have both, that's great too.
I want, and if you run out of eggs, just give me a double helping of bacon. That's fine.
No, I want the
Only
eggs
a double?
too. Sunny side up.
I want the eggs too, but I'll be satisfied if you give me enough bacon.
You
Go to restaurants and just order bacon. Bob Evans, you can just get a side of bacon, like an appetizer, or just a bunch of bacon.
Well, yeah, true. There you go.
Chocolate chip ice cream is the best breakfast. I always wondered. I never got into Cookie Crisp, but I always imagined Cookie Crisp was like the cereal you're really not supposed to eat because it's just chocolate chip cookies.
Honestly, the idea of Cookie Crisp and the reality do not match up. I got Cookie Crisp one time as a kid, and I hated it. I did not like
So
it.
it was
See, I
not what
liked
you
it.
thought it would be.
It wasn't.
It was okay. It's not like I wanted it all the time. I preferred the peanut butter cereals.
Yes. Yeah, that I understand. Yeah.
Cool. All right. But this was a nice little light stream tonight, but that's okay because we will be joining Deleted Scenes for his return of reserved seats. We will be on the premiere episode in a few minutes. If you'd like to join us over there. And Deleted Scenes, please send me a StreamYard link.
Actually, I can take care
Oh,
of
you
that
have it?
as
Okay,
soon as
just
we
send it to me
wrap
over
up.
me.
Well, I don't, but I can go into his StreamYard and get the link because
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm special that way.
Alrighty, but this was an informative night. I think Tilly Norwood is my new muse. I will be stalking her later. I had this image of like Harvey Weinstein saying, "Oh, I waited to if only this had existed, I could have harassed him all I want and not get into trouble."
Right,
You
exactly.
think these AI actresses are going to be harassed? I'm just saying.
Oh, absolutely.
This is just
Absolutely,
ridiculous,
they
man.
will.
I don't know. I saw her in a bunch of clips. Looks like she was in some epic fantasy movie, and she was in a drama. I mean, she was like, doing the sword play thing, I think, or something. I don't know. All right, I think that wraps it up tonight. So yeah, tune in with us for reserved seats, and I don't know if we want to run the gamut of what we're doing all week. You have, of course, your
Yeah, so tomorrow
liquid
night
lunch
is
uh,
well, yeah, you're
every
right. Liquid lunch every
every weekday.
noontime central. Yep, and for 1 hour, just come hang out with me for lunch. But tomorrow night, members on my channel can join me for Members Night at the Movie, where we will be watching the 1931 classic Frankenstein. That's the one you guys chose, so that is what we will be watching.
It's a good movie. It's a classic.
So yeah, that will be Monday. Tuesday, of course, live from Sparkwood 21, watching the first half of David Lynch and Mark Frost's On the Air, followed immediately by the next episode of Blake 7, which is called Gold. Then make sure you catch me Wednesday night on Pop Culture Breakdown. Doomcock has invited me back as a subject matter expert because the movie that we love that we will be talking about is Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Exactly.
You can mention the game trailer you saw too, maybe.
I will.
Game,
I absolutely will. And then Thursday night on Netter's Network, who are we interviewing?
Robert James.
Robert James. We will be talking about his independent film 15 Days, which you can watch right now if you so choose on Tubi. Talks about the whole what did they call it? 15 days to lower the curve, right? That turned into 5 months, which turned into 5 years.
Yep,
so we'll be talking about that. And then this Friday, very special last call, we will start out here on the YouTubery, just long enough to say hi to each other and let everybody know what you're sipping on before I put us all in a big stretch virtual limo to take you all over to the Green Machine, where we're going to have a bit of a karaoke party.
And I may or may not have a voice because I'm on 2.5 weeks and my voice will come and go. So it's like her only stream it was there
15 days to get her voice back, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you could always do
don't have COVID.
You could do the non-singing version of Safety Dance where you just say the words out. I'm just saying.
I'd still sound like a mouse.
I'll tell you what, I can sing Safety Dance and she could go S S S S A.
There you go. That'd be cool.
But yeah, so that is. Oh, and then of course Saturday on
Big Al.
Big Al Presents Films with Friends.
No, sorry, you. It's you.
No, yes, it's my yes. So this Saturday, I don't know what we'll be watching, but I will be hosting the Saturday night movie for Big Al and Netter. But I've got a poll up on my channel. You can go tell me which of the 4 movies you would like to see. We are deciding between the Tales from the Dark Side movie, the Twilight Zone movie, The Mist, and the original Scream.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. Those are some good ones.
So go over there and place your vote. It's not just for members. It's for everybody.
Yeah, it's yeah. I am the because there was a mix up in whose week it was, so I said, you know what, I'll just do it, and we'll Netter pick 2 movies and Big Al pick 2 movies, and I'll let you guys pick between the 4.
Cool.
So that's
all right.
That's the thing. That's all there is this week.
Cool. All right. Well, y'all have a good night, and we're gonna roll the credits and meet us over on Deleted Scenes channel. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
Good night, everyone.